Okay, we're good. I'd like to welcome everyone tonight. We're going to start with an invocation, which will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would, please bow your heads. On this National Day of Prayer, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and all the blessings you've given us. We thank you for providing us the opportunity to serve as citizens of Elkins. We ask that you guide us in our decision-making as we strive to help our community grow. We also ask that you watch over and guide our country's leaders. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll now call the Elkins City Council meeting to order and ask my clerk to take roll, please.
Councilor Gross Friganera.
Here.
Councilor Carroll.
Here.
Councilor Chenoweth. Here. Councilor Hinchman. Here. Councilor Kearns. Here. Councilor Lowther is late this evening. Councilor Pliszka.
Here.
Councilor Severino.
Here.
Councilor Thompson is absent. And Councilor Woods.
Here.
8 present. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Is there anyone here tonight for public comment? Looking at the sheet, no, there is not. We have a presentation. I'm actually going to move this around a little bit, and we are going to do the recognition of the promotion of the Elkins Fire Department member, Hunter Corcoran, to lieutenant. Steve Hines, it's your show, sir.
Thanks, sir. I'd say this will probably be the last one of these I get to do.
What?
They're all young and I'm so Hunter has completed all requirements to promote to lieutenant. We do have one vacancy at that rank from promotions. It's been laying vacant for 16 months now. So in addition to time and grade, he also had about roughly 100 and some odd hours of training to complete prior to getting to this point. So I remember when this kid was born. So. His old retired dad will come up here and talk. Hold on, she's gonna help. She's gonna do it. You'll be down on her low.
Congratulations, Hunter. Well deserved. Carry on a family tradition, so we appreciate that. Okay, next we have a presentation by our own Leon, our communications guy. So it's going to be an AI strategy for City of Elkins website, and I'm going to get out of the way. Oh, I want to see it. I'm gonna say it for a while.
Right, so again, I'm Leon Kay, I'm the communications manager for the City of Elkins. I want to talk about a project I'm going to take on this summer, which is making our website more AI friendly without spending any budget. And I'll get to why I'm. Oh, am I done?
Really good budget, that was great.
Yeah, especially with, yeah, exactly. So what's interesting about this is that we're taking on old tactics that we thought were really like out of style or obsolete, and we're going to harness them even more. That is, in case you haven't noticed, I've been bringing the press release back. I've been writing a lot more articles. Also, I'm starting to rewrite a lot of the web pages. And social media is not going away. It's not, I know I was bugging a lot of you to say, hey, get people to add us so we can reach over 10K. We're over 10K. Well, guess what? I don't care about that. I've changed my mind. Social media is still important, but it's really about announcements and timely information. It's not really about the most important information about the city. And the reason why I'm doing this is that, first of all, I want to present the city as an attractive place for investment. I also want to make it more seamless for us to score grants. The third reason, which I won't really go into, is also lend the local CPV and assist for tourism. I have a longer presentation. I condensed this at Seb's request. I can send it to you if you want to look at it. But there's a statistic out there that already when people are planning trips, whether it's a trip abroad or a little weekend road trip, about a third of folks out there here in the US are using AI already to plan their trip. And after they plan it and do their trip, about 80 or so % are happy with the results. Yes, there are crazy examples of people driving 500 miles out of the way to a town that doesn't exist. But the reality is that no matter how you feel about AI, the ethics of it, the energy that goes into it, the horse is out of the barn. The horse is past the Mason-Dixon line. The horse is almost in Canada. So we're already there. I want us to get us to that point. And you've probably known this already. We're moving away from a model that's all based on clicks and views or what have you. And you've probably seen this when you've gone to Google, right? You type in a question, you type in a search term, and you see a little summary of the views, and you say, oh, this is the answer I need. No, is it 100% accurate? No, of course not. But the way in which we're researching and finding information is changing already. So what I need to do is I will rewrite a lot of the content on the site to make it machine readable. So when you ask ChatGPT or Gemini or my personal favorite, DeepSeek questions, it's pulling passages out of websites. It's not downloading entire pages. It's looking for short, snappy passages that it believes can provide me the best answer. And the reality is when folks are processing grants, when they're evaluating them, when they're researching cities for investment, they're not necessarily using ChatGPT. Everybody talks about ChatGPT. There are a lot of tools out there already that are AI-based. You've probably seen this if you're on Instagram and you're going through stories and you're seeing, oh, get this AI certification and 24 different AI tools. There are a lot of sophisticated tools out there that most of us aren't using that are used by folks in niche industries. So really, the system that we thought was a success, the way in which we measured success for websites, it's been blown up. It's been incinerated, and it's not going back together. So really now it's about AI platforms looking at websites for the best possible information, right? It's training data, these static web pages, these articles I'm writing, these press releases, these static web pages. That's really the trifecta of how we can make our city more, quote, AI friendly. So if I've toyed around with AI, I've asked, oh, hey, I'm going on a weekend road trip to Elkins. Yes, it's not a perfect system. It's recommended restaurants that have long been closed. It's listed the old name of what is now the Wyndham across the street from the hospital, so where to stay. But as you can see, I just asked a very basic question: is this a good place to start a business in? And some of that information is, for the most part, fairly easy to read and it seems accurate. I want to make that better. My goal is that when someone's researching, I've got a factory I want to open a regional office. Where should I go? I want us to be on that map. So that's why this is going to be my project for the summer. So this is not something I just feel like, even though from what I can see, and I could be wrong, and the mayor loves it when I tell him tidbits like this, I don't know of any other town or city in West Virginia that's doing this. So yeah, part of it, well, okay, maybe 1% of it's I want to be first. But really what this is about is that the way technology has been built, we're past it. This is not a nice to have. In my opinion, this is essential infrastructure. And I feel like if I go through the process once and all of a sudden next year, I need to come up to you and say, guess what? I need to blow everything up again. I'll be able to do it faster. I like blowing things up in case you haven't noticed that. All right. So for example, there will be some new pages. Like, Councilor Hinchman, for example, has told me how it's been a while since we talked about this, but business registrations are up. So a lot of this info I'll be getting from the Department of State website. So I'm being a lot more, what's the word? I want to say manic. That's not the right. Yeah, I am being more manic about, someone sneezes, I'm going to write a press release about it. Right? Well, I'm not going quite that far. But again, I want to have the best information out there. If a journalist is researching us for whatever reason, I want this person to find best possible info. So they'll be more inspired to even worse research and learn about us. So it's really about, press release, for example, water department gets $100,000 grant, news article, a tour of the water department. And by having more content like this, which is really not a heavy lift for me, I can do these things practically in my sleep. It's again, seeing these AI models out there that, yeah, this is a legit place, right? So again, to be clear, the way AI works, I'm trying to make this as, I always say, explain this as if I'm talking to my parents or at a cocktail party so people know what I'm talking about. It's really pulling out paragraphs and passages. AI is not looking for entire pages. And in fact, I don't want to sound like I'm dumbing it down, but part of my goal is really you need to write so that a fifth grader can understand what our website is about, what the page is, simplifying things. Okay, we're not displacing people. We're not becoming an AI tool. We are actually using old school tactics, to be clear, to make our site AI friendly. Again, I want that info. I want to be able to sell Elkins as a place to invest, as a place to do business right away. Right. So I said I'd only talk for about 5 minutes, but this is important. So grant reviews, for example. Everybody's pressed for time now, right? We've all heard about what's going on with the economy. Staffs are being cut for reviewing grants. They don't want to do 30 searches. They want to do what I do. They want to do one search, right? Rather than doing 30 tedious short searches that find you nothing. We're getting better and better at asking their AI tools one long question, results that they want. So that's why I'm doing this. This is allowing people to do their due diligence when and if we apply for grants. Make it easy for these reviewers. Right? It's about money, right? We want to be able to score those grants. That's why I'm taking this on. So I want to have more pages that are readable, say in tables. One goal I have is to have a list of businesses that have opened, for example, AI tools like that. We'd like to be able to send bots out and say, hey, are towns, are towns growing, all right? Are more businesses open? Are there more businesses? So a lot of this, again, is publicly information. It's not as if I have to go out and buy info, right? Same thing if people are looking to invest. They want to be able to vet these towns. They want to, as you know, the Ascend program, which I'm a part of, has been here for a few years now. Want to make it an easier sell, right? So people be convinced to move here, whether with their Ascend or not. So again, the trifecta, I've talked about the articles, and really what this is about. So if you really want to sound smart, the next time you go to a potluck and say, what's going on at the city of Elkins? What are you doing? This is all about RAG, retrieval augmented generation, right? That's a very fancy term that makes us scratch our heads. That says AIifying our website. This is the trend. I could come back a year from now and say, oh, guess what? Everything's changed. But this is what's going on right now. So need more, it's more of that old school content. More articles, more press releases, more static pages. Right. So some of this I've already done. I've had a goal of having three new news articles a week. I often exceed that. This week has been a little slow, but I've got those 3 on there. I'm working on a data and facts hub. I'm mapping this all out right now. It's all up here, but it will be a document soon. We do have a how to start a business page. This is what AI platforms like. And one thing I want to work on is so formulating it up here, but an economic development roundup. These are the kind of pages that AI tools like. What's going on? Who's open to business? So, for example, all those emails we get from the local chamber with all the ribbon cuttings. I want to somehow summarize this. Still working on that. And again, that's really it. I have a longer presentation. I'm happy to send you. These are just a bunch of screenshots. Some things I found are highly inaccurate, but we're already on the way there. It's as the cliche goes, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So, questions?
Sadly, I think you're right, and I hate that you're right.
I know I'm right.
Yeah. And I hope all the AI growth. I do like that it's a trip back to old school. Like I like that the content is on the website versus social media and those things.
Right.
And the strategy
tools, they don't scrub the social media
Yeah.
sites for that information,
And-
which in a sense is good because we all know how accurate it can or can't be. That really what I want to do is put the best information up there.
And I appreciate all the slides too. I went through them and I was like, this is so right and
someone actually
so.
looked at my slides.
And it's so funny. I just started teaching about SEO to my students, and so now we got to ditch the SEO strategy and pick something new.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Leon. Okay, moving down to the minutes portion, I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes from the April 21st meeting as presented. We have a motion. Any questions or comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. On the recognition for the fire department, as you can see, I'm still doing several proclamations in May. They've carried over from April into May. We've done 4 now already in May. Event request that was approved, and we will start now with the council reports and go with Councilor Chenoweth.
Finance Committee meeting on Monday has been canceled for lack of urgent agenda items. We're just gonna have a regular meeting in second Monday of June. Since Chris isn't here, municipal properties, that meeting is being postponed till next Monday, same time at 11 o'clock.
Thank you, sir. Councilor Hinchman.
Public safety met on Monday. We had updates from the fire department and the police department and updates on which houses are going to be demolished. We got 3, hopefully next week we'll start, one on 11th Street, one on Paul Street, and one on Ward Street.
Thank you. Councilor Pliska.
No report.
Thank you. Councilor Brosper and Aaron.
Rules and ordinance met recently, and there's a couple of items on your agenda for this evening. I also attended the quarterly meeting of the Mon Forest Towns as the Elkins alternate representative. And I would just like to mention a couple things. That their new website has had over 50,000 views since January, so they're really happy with that. And what that means is there's just more exposure to the city of Elkins on that. And they're also working on a 32-page regional guide that'll also have Elkins in it. So that's great news. The canoe that we funded should be here within a month or two. We were the last one to commit to that, so we're a little bit lower on the totem pole for that. And then finally, in late or mid-August, there will be a self-assessment community meeting. And we're excited because it's going to be in the new Ascend offices of the event center. So as soon as we have that date, time confirmed, I'll share it with everybody. But it really provides a way to find out what the Mont Forest Towns Initiative is doing and what we should be working towards in the future. And that's it.
Thank you. Councilor Wood.
No report.
Thank you. Councilor Kearns. No report. Thank you. Councilor Savarino.
The personnel committee meeting this month was moved to the 13th at 1 o'clock.
Thank you. Councilor Carroll.
No report.
Thank you. Moving down to the officers' reports, we will start with our city treasurer, Ms. G.
Good evening. In your packet, I want to call attention to a couple things on the general fund revenue detail. We did last week get our last quarterly sales tax deposit of $445,135.72. That's within the top three that we've gotten since the inception of that. And our B&O tax has really been doing extremely well this year and the last fiscal year. I do not think that we will sustain that because we've had major construction projects. But if people want to come and build, I'd be more than happy to take the money. So anyway, we're doing well in this fiscal year. Staff continues to work with the collections on the first due fire fees. We've had some people that have paid in full, others have set payment plans, but it's a very small percentage. So we'll be looking at the next steps forward to more collection on those. And that's all I have, unless anybody has any questions.
Did you happen to see an uptick in collections on some of those fees after our conversation last council meeting, or?
A very small amount. Yeah, very small.
Any other questions for Tracy? It is my honor to welcome Ms. Sarah Campbell, who has agreed to lead our HR department. So welcome aboard and welcome to your first council meeting.
Thank you.
I'm not going to put you on the spot, but if you want to say hello to everyone, you're welcome to do that. Or if you have anything to say, that's your choice.
Thank you, everyone, for welcoming me. I've started off this past couple of weeks just kind of getting my feet under me, and I'm looking forward to really getting into everything this coming week. So, thank you.
Welcome to our family. Okay, our fire chief, Steve Hopkins.
Thank you, Mayor. Most of this was reported to public safety. April calls for service were 49. That's year to date as of this morning or this afternoon. We're up to 214. So really about our normal pace. This past weekend, we had confined space training all weekend between guys doing 8-hour refreshers and guys getting certified for the first time. I think we had 12 or 13 in the course. So it was really beneficial weekend there. We're in the process of getting all of our air cylinders hydrostated. That has to be done every so many years. It's a DOT requirement because they're pressurized gas cylinders. So they have to pull the valve out of them, fill them full of water, pressurize them again, make sure they don't expand or blow up. And, obviously, we can't do them all at one time. Between all the breathing apparatus, the spare cylinders, there's probably 66 or 68 that we have to test every 3 to 5 years. And we ran our 14th structure fire this morning. And I was this has been a trend that's been going on with the addition of our increase in our staffing and the increase in the revenue. So just as a little bit of factual information, the first truck with 3 firefighters on it was sitting in front of the house 8 minutes from the 911 call at 5:30 in the morning. We were all nice and tucked in our beds, and And that was pulling in and dressed and ready to go to work. That has nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with those guys that left for photo ops. And so I was hoping they were going to stick around long enough to hear me say that. I guess they'll have to catch it on the live feed. So,
Trust me, they'll hear about it. Trust me, they'll hear about it.
Okay. Other than that, all I have.
Any questions for Steve? If not, our chief of police.
Good evening. Business as usual for us. Been busy lately, but nothing, crazy, nothing out of the ordinary for call volume or anything. This week we did order 7 replacement vehicles to replace older ones in the fleet. It's that time to flip them over, and then at the beginning of next year we'll have 4 more that will end up getting flipped then. We did have some good news on that. We found a way to eliminate the dual payments on vehicles during that transition when we're switching equipment from one to the next one. We found a way to eliminate that, so that's really nice. So we don't have as much pressing on getting the stuff switched over. I guess that's the best way to say it. Other than that, the only other thing I have is hooked on fishing this weekend. Come by and stop by our booth, get some bubbles or candy or whatever we have there.
Any questions for Travis? If not, our city clerk, Sutton Stokes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I guess one of the things that I haven't brought up recently, I did finally take a step in the last month or so towards what we need to do to transition our elections to county control. Deadline is 2032. But before, and the most recent legislative session did make that easier. We no longer have to follow the actual charter change process to make the necessary charter change. So that it would just be a matter of passing an ordinance with no opportunity for anyone to object anymore. But before moving ahead, I think for quite some time, it's been clear our wards are not perfectly balanced as far as numbers of registered voters. And since the county clerk is probably going to have to take our wards and adjust the county's precinct lines to try to match those as closely as possible, it makes sense to get our wards right before she would attempt that. So I got some information from our GIS consultant at Region 7. She followed a process of basically trying to estimate the population in our wards, which is a little bit of a process, having to line up census tracts and all that. So it's good to have that support. Anyway, so that'll be a little bit of a process. I'm sure it will be completely uncontroversial. I'll keep you posted as that goes forward. Still working out the project management structure with Woodlands related to the 5G process that will get things rolling for the streetscape and riverfront engineering projects this summer. You all did get the email. We did see signs of life concerning our earmark. An actual email from the agency confirming that we're in line for that with more instructions to follow. So that was good to see. Some policy work underway, working in the rules committee on next steps for short-term rental laws, city media policy that's before you tonight. Still working on what the approach will be for the high volume FOIA requests we've been getting. Jerry's working on an ordinance for that. And then there's just ongoing work trying to clean up code language. Started work on something called a budget snapshot that would be a brief little presentation of some essential budget information that some other cities and counties use. And put some time into welcoming Sarah on board. It's been great to see her get off to a strong start. So I'd like to say welcome. And that's all I have as far as a report. Does anyone have any questions?
I will comment about the high volume FOIA request. That's not just us, that's statewide right now. So the municipal league has actually been discussing this as well and how we address this, because this is a burden on our staff as well. So, I mean, there's a way that we have to approach this, so we're looking to figure out the legal way of doing that. So, any other questions for Sutton? Before before I move on, welcome Council Allen.
Right, as usual.
I'll wait to get it set up, or do you have anything to add?
I don't have anything to add. Municipal properties got moved to the 18th, and Parks and Rec will meet on the 3rd Wednesday.
Thank you, sir. Okay, down to approval of the vendor invoice payments. I will entertain a motion to accept the invoices as submitted. So, we have a motion. Are there any questions or comments? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Under new business, A, changes to council meeting schedule in June and July. I will entertain a motion to accept these.
So moved.
We have a motion. Want to give an explanation to the public? Mr. White.
Well, I think the one date that had to move was June 11th to get the latest. Want to explain that or?
So the last state budget revision has to be in by June 15th. So making it as close as we can up to that point will really give us a much clearer outlook to the end of the month as opposed to doing it earlier. And then we just space the next one out 2 weeks. And then once again, in July, we are required to have the coal severance revised budget revision done by July 15th, and then the general fund budget revision by the 31st. But historically, we've had them both done by the 15th. So that's why we kind of staggered those on out there.
Thank you for the explanation. I will also point out that in a future agenda, we'll probably be changing August because the first week in August is the municipal conference. So we'll probably do that one as well. We'll request to have that one. Are there any questions or comments regarding this item? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Resolution 1912, reappointing Renee Carpenter to the Elkins Building Commission. I will entertain a motion to accept, please.
So moved.
We have a motion. Any questions or comments? If none, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Resolution 1913, adopting a city media policy. I will entertain a motion to accept, please.
So moved.
We have a motion. Any questions or comments?
I would encourage everyone, the discussion on this was really like deliberative and kind of great. So rules saw it once, and then actually Mayor Marco brought up a great like issue with some of the initial language, and then the clerk went back to it and then brought us back this current draft, which when you like look at what it balances in terms of for the city to kind of be in the optimal position to serve the public and communicate well and be accessible, it's a really good policy, and I feel really good about it. And I hope everyone sifted through it. And I don't know if the clerk wants to offer any other kind of broad overview of it.
No, I think that covers it. Thanks for the kind words.
I think it helps us with our partners as well when they have events, so to support them. So thank you, Sonny. Any other
One additional nice part of the policy that there is latitude, because a lot of times things are not black and white. There's gray areas, and it still provides Sutton and his crew flexibility in it. So that's good as well.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Resolution 1914, approving a contract with Tammy's Floral for the 2026 downtown flower contract. I will entertain a motion to accept, please.
So moved.
We have a motion. Any questions or comments?
Do we have, and I don't know if Tracy, you might know this, is this about what it was last year?
Slightly less. Isn't it?
Yeah, slightly less.
And we worked with them before on
Yes,
this? Okay,
last
cool.
couple
That's what I
of
thought it
years.
was about the same.
Yes.
Can we ask for red, white, and blue flowers?
I'd say the order's already gone in.
I was going to say.
I think she has to have the order in.
A fall or early winter decision in order for her to be able to do the flowers.
You shouldn't.
Sure have this. Any other questions or comments? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Resolution 1915, authorizing the use of TIF revenues for the local match requirement for a UH Recreational Trails Program grant for the construction of a skills area at Glendale Park. I will entertain a motion to accept, please.
So moved.
Popular one. We have a motion. Are there any questions or comments?
Jessica, the director,
Yes.
if you want to ask any questions.
Happy to answer questions if you have any.
Welcome, Jessica. Are there any questions or comments?
It was so exciting that you all got the grant, and it looks like a super project. The photographs and the images were great, and I think, one of the nice things about using the TIF funds, there was a lot of concern that the TIF funds would just be providing benefit to Elkins, and this is going to be such a regional, county-wide addition to outdoor, state. It'll be a real gem for our whole area. So that's what I like the most about it. That it sort of puts a kibosh on our just working for ourselves. I hope no trees will be harmed in this. I'm like looking at the pump track going, there's 3 little trees. But that's just me. Hopefully.
Any other questions or comments?
I'll just
It's
share.
hard to follow kibosh.
I know. Let's see. Just procedurally, this was recommended by the TIF Advisory Committee. It turned out to be the first thing that was really ripe for council to take action on. But it was part of a bundle of things the TIF Advisory Committee did look at several weeks ago. Obviously, an authorized use of TIF revenues. This type of project is specifically listed in the approved application. And just to emphasize, as it says in the packet, just anyone watching, although the overall grant is approximately $500,000.
485,000.
Yeah. And these type of grants require a 20% local match. What's being pledged here is just the match for the approximately $125,000 design phase. So it's really just pledging only 25,000 approximately of TIF revenues to then leverage this grant money with intention to do other fundraising for the local match as the project moves along. So.
Was that, so inside the document, it had 2 years for completion of the study or the project? There was a date somewhere in this saying that the project completion would be 2 years. Is that just for the engineering study? It's not for or is it for the whole project?
It's optimistic to think everything will be done in 2 years. I think that's what you put in the grant application. It's ideal, but
Right.
Starting the design work this year, we would hope to be able to put it out to bid by next year. But it really depends on when we're able to put it out to bid and go through that second procurement process for construction. Right. There's a lot of the trail builders that specialize in that, because it is a very specialized field, building these pump tracks and top tracks and skills areas, could already be booked up for next year. Mm-hmm. So we're hopeful that we can get someone on board and we have everything lined out and the design work ready and can get through that process, that we would be able to have it constructed by 27.
Wow.
But it might not happen until early 28.
That's fantastic.
Thank you, Jessica. Any other questions or comments?
And I would just encourage the public that are interested in this that on the City of Elkins website, there's a page not only about the TIF district, but also I believe it has the Elkins Shared Trails master plan. And in that master plan has kind of some drawings and ideas about what this looks like if you're unfamiliar with this kind of bike infrastructure.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments on this? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion carries. Mayor's comments, I'll keep this brief tonight. I need to correct something from 2 meetings ago. I had reported that the county commission had given funding to Parks and Recreation, and then I was corrected that it actually went to the YMCA. It was listed incorrectly. So it was YMCA money instead of Parks and Rec. Sorry, Chris.
Right. And I was disappointed when I found that out too.
I was very excited and very optimistic at first, but unfortunately it didn't. So I will say today was National Day of Prayer. We had a great gathering downtown, very uplifting events. I've had a pretty long week, so I absolutely needed that today. So amazing turnout. So thank you to everybody who offered personality and myself with the entire city while we were there. And as Chief Bennett mentioned earlier, we have Hofnod this weekend and Saturday. Hooked on Fishing, Not on Drugs. If you're not busy, do me a favor, stop by. It's a great environment. The kids have a blast. A ton of giveaways and a ton of people that set up and just display. Very educational. If you walk through, it's very educational. So I want to thank Owen and the staff that puts this together. They do an amazing job, and everybody has a good time with it. Hopefully the weather holds out and we don't get rain this Saturday. I haven't checked the weather that far, but it'll probably change anyway. So with that, meeting adjourned.